All right, hey folks, good Friday evening to you. Of course, we're tracking another weekend storm heading our way. This will be the third weekend in a row. We have some inclement weather, and next weekend I think will probably be our fourth weekend in a row with some inclement weather. We actually have another storm system possible for next week as well. Hey, let's start off with a forecast by talking about our Saturday, Sunday storm system around here. We have some clouds which have made their way in today, and those clouds will be with us into the morning tomorrow, and looks like they'll only be in the extreme lowest levels of the atmosphere. That means if you're traveling up a mountain, maybe you're skiing or snowboarding this weekend, you go up in a chairlift to the top of some of the mountains in Maine, New Hampshire, there's a very good chance you'll get above the clouds during the morning tomorrow. So that might be a little added treat if you're skiing or snowboarding somewhere in the state of Maine or New Hampshire. Hey, let's start off by taking a look at where our storm system is that will be affecting us this weekend. I think the worst of the storm will be tomorrow night and going into, actually tomorrow night in general here, just because we have this area of low pressure that is off to our west right here, and the burst of rain you see making its way up through the Virginias, West Virginia, Virginia, moving into Pennsylvania. That's going to be right over us, and the time frame for that will be tomorrow night, 10, 11 o'clock or so. So much like last weekend's storm system, I think most of the action is actually going to be at night again. Remember last week we had snow. This time it's going to be rain. We'll have some wind to talk about as well. I think the mountains will see some snow, and the precipitation type is still a little bit in question, especially as we go through some of the higher elevations there. We'll look at that in a second as well. So we're watching that primary area of low pressure moving up into the Great Lakes. This one right down in there is working its way right over our region during the day tomorrow. So this is actually 11 o'clock tomorrow night. And this is a horrible track if you want an all-out snowstorm. Usually, you need a storm to track off of Cape Cod and the Gulf of Maine to hold on to the colder air. This just isn't going to do that. So the biggest question I have in my mind is, can we hold on to snow over some of the higher elevations in the mountains here? And there's a very good chance you could see some spots over 3 to 6 inches over the higher elevations. But even there, the temperatures around 5,000 feet will be around 31, 32, or 33 degrees. And that means a whole lot of difference between whether you're seeing snowflakes falling from the sky or ice pellets or freezing rain or that kind of thing. But it does look like most of the area just gets plain old rain. Temps just look too warm to support snow out of this one. Let me get my mug out of the way here. That little banner says mostly rain. Yes, the mountains will see a little bit of snow and mix, and I think we'll actually break into a little bit of sun as we go into the day on Sunday. Sunday looks to be the best part of the weekend. So let's start off Storm Tracker tomorrow morning. I think there'll be a lot of clouds out there. What you don't see on this graphic right here, I think, is the drizzle. I think there will be some drizzle, especially near the coast, and the reason for that, there'll be an onshore wind. With a wind coming in off the ocean, that's going to saturate our atmosphere pretty quickly, and that may get going as soon as tomorrow morning. So whatever falls as far as precipitation during the day tomorrow should be very light. Now the bulk of the action arrives tomorrow night. This is actually 6, 7 o'clock or so. And notice how it's rain for southern, central, mid-coast Maine, but there will be a rain-snow line, I think. And that rain-snow line is probably a little north of Route 2, or maybe around Route 2, somewhere in there. But some of the higher elevations will get some accumulation out of this one, and there it is right there, kind of hanging out in the White Mountains of New Hampshire. You go up towards Sugarloaf, for instance, yeah, you'll get a little bit of snow out of this one, perhaps a little bit of sleet mixing in as well. Again, some of that precipitation type is going to be a little finicky there. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. But the back edge of the rain and mountain mix and snow moves out Sunday morning, and we have some holes in the overcast. I think the sun will try to poke out midday and afternoon. That's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. There may even be a few rain showers, especially central Maine. We're seeing that late in the day. And some snow showers look more numerous in the mountains late in the day on Sunday. But not a huge deal either way. All right, my mug is covering up the 3 to 6, so let's move that over there. Most towns get nothing. As far as snowfall goes. The lighter shade of blue, yeah, you get a coating possible here. As you go through the western mountains of Maine, White Mountains of New Hampshire, a widespread 1 to 3 should be expected. But some of the higher elevations, there you stand the best chance for seeing over 3 inches. You go up towards the Presidential Range, maybe over towards Franconia Notch, those areas might get a little bit more. I still have some questions, will we see how much sleet mixes in, freezing rain? Still not entirely confident on how much or what type of precipitation we're going to see tomorrow night in those areas. My hope is it's mostly snow over the higher elevations. It'll be pretty close, though. The rest of us, just plain old rain. I think we're going to get between 1 and 1 3/4 of an inch of rain in that area right there. So, Yeah, we could be watching some of the streams, some of the areas that have ice jams. We watched that in Augusta. Remember, we were showing the ice jam photo on the Kennebec. If these start to loosen up, yeah, there could be some flooding. Right now, I think this is a manageable amount of rain. If we start getting up over 2 inches of rain, yeah, then we're talking about a much different scenario. We have some melt, of course, from the snow on the ground as well. We'll be watching some of the streams, but I think ice jams will be something to keep an eye on. And leaky basements and that kind of thing. If you have a sub pump, can't hurt to check that out before this gets going. Wind tracker, there it is. So we're seeing some of the strongest winds tomorrow night. Let's highlight the time frame, 10 p.m. tomorrow night through about 1 a.m. on Sunday. And we're going to get a stiff easterly wind. That wind comes right in off the ocean tomorrow night. It's one of those nights where you might be heading off to bed and then boom, wind-driven rain hitting the windows. Might keep you up for a little while tomorrow night. So that's about 11 o'clock. I guess it all depends on what time you go to bed. But if you're up late, yeah, you'll probably feel that wind or hear that wind hitting the window panes. But it looks like that wind starts to die down probably a little after 1 o'clock. And this is kind of cool to see. This graphic is just a graphic trying to showcase the track of the storm with the wind. You can kind of see the center of low pressure right there? See the winds, they rotate counterclockwise around low pressure. Kind of interesting to see how the model handles that. All right, let's get rid of that. There we go. But the wind will start to lighten up by Sunday morning. And looks like Sunday, some sun makes an appearance. Might be an afternoon shower central Maine, but that's about it. Sunday's the best part of the weekend. All right, let's talk about next weekend now. This is starting to make some headlines here. And, it's 8 days out, so I don't want to put too much stock into it, but always looking ahead to the next storm. We have this weekend storm system, which looks mostly wet. A lot of you folks that like snow, you might want to pay attention to this Groundhog Day or Super Bowl Sunday storm. That's our best chance for seeing significant snow. You have this batch of energy diving south out of the northern plains. You have another area of low pressure surging up the eastern seaboard. This is more of your classic southern branch development as far as a storm goes. This could be a decent-sized storm if it all comes together at the right time. 8 days out, again, I'm not going to put much stock into it, but with that said, a lot of forecast modeling has been kind of jumping on this as something we'll be watching pretty closely for Sunday of next week. So, all right, let's fast forward and get rid of that pretty quickly before we get too excited about it. So we'll see what happens there. All right, let's move my head out of the way up in here so we can see Saturday. I have some raindrops in there Saturday. I think it's drizzle during the day. Saturday evening, Saturday night, it's more of a steady, heavier rain. We're going to get over an inch of rain, so it's going to come down heavy at times. May even be an embedded thunderstorm. Then Sunday, we have some sunny breaks developing. It might be a brief shower, but I'm going to try to ski on Sunday. If it doesn't wash away the snow, I think Sunday might be a sneaky good ski day, especially if the sun comes out. And then Monday, a lot of clouds around. Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday all look pretty nice, but it's going to get colder. Inland areas, some single digits return for those overnight lows. So yeah, it gets a little bit colder as we head into the extended range. So thank you for folks joining me on Facebook Live this evening, and I hope I answered all your questions. I can see some of them in here. A lot of folks checking in, saying hello. Hello to you, Julie, and let's see what else we get in here. Hi from Alfred. Why are we not getting snow, Ashley says. Oh man, I wish. You'd think it's late January. You'd think we get snow, right? But the reason we're not getting snow, Ashley, is the track of the storm is just not favorable. It's coming right up over us. You want that low to be out into the ocean. And the track 100 miles off to the southeast, we would stay all snow. And the other thing is, there's not a ton of cold air around anyway. I mean, temperatures were warm the last few days. So a storm like this would have to take that exact perfect track, sort of thread the needle, if you will, for us to stay all snow. And it's just not going to do that. So let's, I guess let's just deal with the rain and the wind and the mountain snow, and then we'll enjoy some sun next week, and we'll focus in on our next storm system after that for late next weekend. All right, folks, I hope everybody has a nice night. Friday night has a great weekend as well. Take care. Dustin's in with more updates tomorrow.